When I say I was panicking, I was panicking. It was no joke. It was no joke. I was so scared. I was thinking the absolute worst. I'm like, we're supposed to be going on our honeymoon soon and you're telling me that we can't get married. I'm calm now, so that this would be a good time to get on camera and talk to you. But I was having a full-on panic attack today. Let me sorry, I clapped the dog's head. Let me tell you what happened, okay? So you guys know this whole situation with the marriage license. I've been calling like crazy and nobody was answering. So by day 3, nobody was still answering, and I told Xavier, I'm like, hey, we're here planning our honeymoon and stuff, but we don't even know if we can get married because I can't get in touch with the clerk's office. I called 2 separate places. I left 2 voicemails in 3-day span, business days. That doesn't include the weekends. Anywho, so he decided that he was gonna call. And he called, same thing. No one answers, nobody was returning any calls. So I was like, we should probably just speak to another one, like another county. So he somehow gets someone on the phone. I don't know if he called the same number or another number. I don't know what other number he called, but he got someone, and they told him that just to get the appointment, to get the marriage license, that the appointment would be available 4 days after our wedding date. 4 days. He's like, sir, I'm getting married 4 days before that. That's not gonna happen. He's like, okay, so you can try contacting like another county to see if they can set something up for you. So he did that. He contacted the county that's north of us, and they said that all we have to do is fill out like an online form or like an application, and then once they receive it, we can schedule an appointment. But no one's given us a clear answer as to how long it would take to schedule an appointment. First of all, I did not know it was going to be this hard to get your marriage license. When I was reading up online, they said that all you needed to do was have it. I mean, I researched this maybe like a year ago. All you need to do in order to get a marriage license is to have it done at least 3 days prior to your wedding. So I was thinking you just pop up there, or like pop up in there in the courthouse, sign it, wait 3 days, and then go and get married. I did not think it would be all of this. And then like a few weeks ago, I started researching it, and they say you're good. You need to have it at least 60 days before the wedding. I'm like, okay, well that's good, but all of the courts and stuff have been closed, mind you. So we couldn't do it 60 days ago. So I started going on like online forums, and I'm seeing people say things like, you need to get this done like now because of COVID-19. Like it's taking like a month for them to set you up with an appointment. And I started getting really nervous. I didn't even mention that to Xavier. So that's why I've been calling like crazy trying to set up this appointment, and no one's answering their phones. Anyways, so I was able, he still made, although they didn't give us an idea of when we can go in for the appointment in the other county that we were thinking of going to, I was like, I still want to do some type of insurance and do some research and looking around. So I did another county, 2 counties north of where we live. That's like 2 hours away from here, like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from here. And with them, they said that they can do a virtual like meeting, which was great. I'm like, oh, virtual, it's gonna be quick like this, quick like this. So did that. that online application, put in my information, put in his information and everything, and they said that they would get back to us in 2 business days. I'm like, that's good. They move quickly. They said 2 business days. So after 2 business days, no, after 2 business, the next day, the next morning, which was today, they responded really quickly, and they're like, yeah, make your payment and then schedule an appointment, and then, you know, we'll get you all situated, this, that, and the other. So I was like, okay, they're moving quickly. We figured it out. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm rushing and everything to put this payment in. I was gonna wait till Friday, but I'm like, something told me, I'm like, let me do it now. So before I made the payment, I responded to that email, and I was like, I said, you know, our wedding is on this date. Will we have time to make the payment? If we make the payment today, will we have time to schedule an appointment and stuff? And the person replied, you know, the spots for appointments are running out, like, you need to do it quickly. Like, they made it seem like it was like really urgent. So I was like, okay, all right. I'm like punching in stuff, hoping I'm not making any errors and stuff like that to make this payment and stuff like that. And I did. And then once I was done, I went to schedule an appointment. Perps, do you want to guess the date, sorry Jonah, that they were showing me for the next available appointment for us to get our marriage license? Take your time and guess. The day before we're getting married was the next scheduled time. First of all, for a marriage license, if you do not have marriage counseling, you have 3 days. You have to put that in, do the appointment and everything for it, and wait 3 days before you can be legally married. Do the math. If we got that done the day before our wedding date, that means nobody's getting married. And we can't get marriage counseling because most of the churches are closed, and I mean basically everything is closed due to COVID-19. So we have to pay the full price. We can't even get a discounted price, because if we do a marriage counseling, we can get a discounted price. We couldn't even do that. So we have to pay $25 more and everything. So I start freaking out. I'm freaking out. I'm having a panic attack. My heart is racing. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna tell X this, because he's gonna kill me and the people in the court, because I had one job. So I called, and they weren't answering their phone, of course, and this is in the other county. I called and they weren't answering their phone. I'm like, first of all, did I just throw away all my money to this place and I still can't get married? So I called them and they weren't answering. Hung up. I found another number on Google and I called them again, and someone answered. I was like, thank God. And I'm trying to explain the situation, what's going on, to the lady who picked up the phone, and I couldn't even make out my words because I was like panicking so hard. I was almost in tears. I was like, I just filled out this thing online, I made a payment, and then when I went to schedule an appointment, it's telling me it's the day before I'm supposed to be getting married. And like, that's what I wanted to say, but that's not what was actually coming out of my mouth. There was other things coming out. It wasn't that, I'll tell you that. And then after a while, she's like, oh, let me get you over to the appropriate department. So she transfers the call. Somebody immediately answers, and the person was really nice, and I explained the situation, or at least I tried to explain the situation. It seems that she knew what I was talking about, and she's like, oh, don't worry. She's like, just respond to the email and let them know your circumstance and see if they can help you out. And I'm like, I've been emailing these poor people all day long, and they told me hurry up and put this appointment in really quickly because the spots are getting filled. And she's like, no, just do it again, go in there and stuff. And I was hesitant, and I guess she sensed my hesitation. Maybe she heard my voice starting to crackle a little bit, and she knew I was probably about to start crying. And she's like, don't worry about it, they'll work with you. So I was like, okay. So I email again. I said, I am so sorry to bother you, and the camera's about to die. I'll send you, hold on. So I send the email, and I said, I'm gonna read you exactly what I wrote. I said, sorry to bother you again, but I made my payment and the next available appointment date is the day before my wedding. Please, 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 I beg of you to help get a sooner date. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I can't get it by this time. And they responded like 20 minutes later. They're like, we have availability a week from today. Can you do it? In the middle of the day when both X and I are supposed to be at work. And I said, yes. I said, God bless you. Thank you. You saved my life. Please, 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 please set this up for us. So it's like a virtual thing. So he sent me another email like 20 minutes later, set us up for an appointment so that we can do a Zoom meeting or whatever that's supposed to be like an hour and 1 week from today. When I say I was panicking, I was panicking. It was no joke. It was no joke. I was so scared. I was thinking the absolute worst. I'm like, we're supposed to be going on our honeymoon soon and you're telling me that we can't get married. Ah. And afterwards, I was just praising God. I'm like, God, thank you so much for coming through. I don't know what I was gonna do. 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 But we made it work. God made it work, not we. God did all of it. He made it work for us. So, in the middle of our work schedule, I guess we have to talk to our bosses so we can just have that hour set aside so that we can do the meeting in a week from today, and then we should be all good in that department. God is so good. And these people, they sense my fear, but they should let people know, if especially now with COVID, that it's going to take some time to make it, because you have to make an appointment like with all these places. You can't just pop in like you used to. Let them know in advance, because we don't know these things, you know. I'm so glad that I researched this a little bit ahead of time, because I was thinking we can just go and get that like a few days before, but that is not the case. That is so not the case. So if this is a lesson for any of you newlyweds or people who are trying to get married soon, please schedule it at least a month and a half ahead. Please don't do like I did. Don't do it. Although it's not my fault that this is happening, it still can happen to other people. So yeah, take my advice and praise God. God is good. I just woke from my nap and we are on our way to go looking for dresses with her. And I think yesterday's vlog I said I was going yesterday, but change of plans and we're going today. Why are you giving me that smirk?